channel. It's been a minute. Welcome back to the BakDrop by Jojo. I know it's been a long wait, and I'm back here. I really wanted to take time with this channel, and I spent like a lot of time like asking myself and God and just what I wanted to bring to this channel, what I wanted it to be, and because the way it started, all of you saw this this segment that I called Convos with Paps. That obviously is going to come back, but I wanted to also direct this not just to be convos with Paps. And I have so many conversations, couple of maybe 3 conversations that I've had with Paps that are ready to come, but I did feel like it was the right time. Like I needed to first redirect and have everybody understand what the purpose of this platform is and what you can expect to see here and to gain from this platform. First of all, I wanted to reintroduce myself for those of you who don't know me, even those who think they know me. New year, new me. Okay, no, new year, new me. No, I don't do those things. But like, I just wanted to explain first of all who I am, why BakDrop, the BakDrop by Jojo is even a thing, how it came about, and then just a little bit of what to expect from here. So basically, my name is Joanna Maronji Bakini. I have other names, but we shall go with those ones. I'm normally called Jojo by most people, or just Joe, so you can just say Joe. I would describe myself as a Christian lifeist because I love life and I love living, and I love living to the fullest. But I'm also kind of like a person who loves God. And if you know me, like in the last few years, or probably 2 years, you probably know me for a long time as a Christian girl or somebody who identifies as Christian, but never really been vocal about their faith. And lately I have felt a desperation and a need to be more vocal about my faith. And so that's why I would consider myself a Christian and a Christian lifeist like that, because I love fun. My life purpose or vision, which I feel like it's my life vision, is to inspire and nurture learning, growth, and generosity and fun. Fun is in there as well. So to inspire those 4 things, I want to inspire learning, I want to inspire generosity, I want to inspire growth, I want to inspire fun. I want to be that kind of person, like if you want to know anything about learning, and I mean like all these things should be applied to every area of life. So I want to learn to be generous, to be growing in my spiritual life, in my financial area life, in my relational, my social, my mental. And as we walk this journey on this podcast, which I feel is my calling for this website, is to show you my journey as I've been like as I'm walking, things that I'm learning, the things that I'm putting away, I'm re-evaluating, things that I'm evolving from and into. And that's one of the reasons why I took long to come back, was because I was like, if I choose to go down this road, I have to be ready to share these things, to be super honest and to be vulnerable, which is even just saying the word, I feel like I'm about to choke. But yeah, I feel I'm halfway there. I'm almost ready to be totally vulnerable and to share with you like the ups and the downs, the good, the bad, and the ugly. I'm ready to share it. Things that I love in life. I love travel. I love doing crazy things. Oh, God has blessed me. God has blessed me with good friends that in my like the last 4 or 5 years, I've become more drawn to making experiences than just living life. I just want to live and be like, ah, you lived and you had fun. And so that means that I have had some pretty crazy ideas, but my friends have indulged me. We've gone shooting guns, like real guns, real bullets. I've gone whitewater rafting with a friend. We've done bungee jumping with another friend. We've done abseiling with other friends, and it's been like one after another, like fun things to do. I have a a bucket list of crazy fun ideas that I can't wait to share with you. I think like every human being who wants to live life and just not exist should come up with a bucket list. Things that you're like, I would like to do this. It's so crazy, it's beyond me, and I want to do it. And I can share with you if you really, really want to know about it. But like, those are some of the things that that I can tell you about me. I am also so into murder mysteries, you guys, and like every single time like I watch murder mysteries, I am like, right now I'm like very good at judging people. Like I can be like, he did it, she did it, no, she didn't do it, okay, but that one, the lawyers just failed him, or stuff like that. Like I'm so into murder mysteries. I hear like, you guys, I don't know whether this is good for me, but I watch a lot of dead people's stories because that's what murder mysteries are about. Anyways, I feel like I'm more, that will help me because I've always been afraid of death, and I want you to be more familiar with it because it's something that's going to happen, and the more that you're familiar with it, the more you get comfortable to prepare for it, because it's one of those things that is not easy to be like, oh, I need to prepare for when I'm dead. Like, we don't talk about it, you know. I am considering this year to actually write a will. Yes, like, because that's part of life. You're going to die at some point. Yes. I wanted to read for you, like some of you like may not know me that well. Like I'm so into, like, this year it has been like this journey of, should I say, I felt that I'm more and more self-aware and more in sync with understanding myself and trying to pursue what that looks like. So I was kind of obsessed with this whole thing of self-awareness, and like, we need to understand ourselves and know how to relate to other people, and then that way we'll be able to also know how to relate to ourselves. So I went home with this personality test, and like, everybody needs to take one, and it was the Enneagram, and everybody took it and everybody was excited, and then we started finding out like, the Enneagram is, it was rooted in demonic worship, and like the person, that thing that was revealed, that the Enneagram was revealed to them through, literally, it was a demonic thing. So I was like, okay, enough. Like, those who haven't done it, let's not do it. Then I found this one, which is usually used, it's the 16 personalities, and it's the INFJ. Like, many people in like Christian workplaces do this, and so I have never seen, like, the Enneagram had me, but I won't even share what I was in the Enneagram because I don't want to encourage people to. But like, the 16 personality one has really, really helped me like understand myself and be like, oh my word, this is who you are. This is actually who you are. This is like what you're about. So first of all, these are some of the things that stand out, like, just in the introduction. So I took it, I am an INTJ person, and in particular they call mine the architect. Okay, so in general there are different letters that represent different things. So I am an INTJ, A meaning architect. So these are my traits. In terms of energy, I am 62% introverted, so they give you percentages. On one end is extroverted, on the other end is introverted. Mind you, I always, like, growing up, I thought I was extroverted. It wasn't until I did a very people-oriented job where, like, it was all about, like, you were minding people. It was all the time, 90% or 99% of the time, I had to be with people that I realized, oh my gosh, these people, they're draining me. And I didn't know what extrovertedness or introvertedness meant. For us, we thought extroverts are people who talk and are loud and are whatever and are good people, and introverts are people who are reserved, and it's the total opposite. Like, you can be reserved but extroverted. So this is how I define extroverted. It's the best definition I got. When people go to bed at night and they wake up in the morning, if each of us has a jar, okay, a jar that should have energy coins, okay? So an extrovert wakes up in the morning with an empty jar. And then what they do is every interaction with a person, they get energy coins. They get energy coins. They get energy coins. That's what extrovertedness means. They gain energy from interaction with people. It's not about, it's not about, oh, I know how to, my way about people, I can talk to people, I'm loud, I'm like, the life of the person has nothing to do with that. So for example, my mom is a reserved person. You wouldn't find her like in public, like at the top of the, like being the one who's entertaining everyone. But every interaction with people at a party, in fact, a cousin of mine and I have a word for her, like a name for her, a nickname, which would be in Luganda like Namikolo, in Rutoro they say Karagenyi. She loves a good party. She loves a wedding. Like she loves hotel. Like for her, she's energized by those experiences. And so, but normally she's a reserved person. She's not a person who is loud. She's not a person who's always like, but she loves a good one-on-one. She loves a good, like people being around her. Now, on the other side, introverts, they wake up with an empty jar of energy. No, a full jar of energy. And that is if they've had like good time to themselves. And usually that's why in the morning, those are some of the people who don't even like to interact in the morning, because they're still gaining up on that energy. And then afterwards, every time they interact with a person, they're giving, they lose. They're not people who are like, oh, I don't want to give you my energy. It just happens. Every interaction with a person, they're giving, and that's who I am. I lose energy. I will like have fun in a gathering and enjoy my people and just have fun with my friends. But when I go back to myself, I am exhausted and depleted, and I'm like, I can't do this till further notice. That's how I am with people. But when I'm around people, I'm like fun. I'm like, and I think those are some of the things that I've been trying to like work on myself, because I think sometimes I set a precedence that I need to carry conversations or be the fun person for everyone, and so people expect me to do that. Whereas I really sometimes just want to chill. I want to chill. Some days when I've decided to chill, people have been like, are you sad? Are you angry? Are you okay? Are you sick? No, I'm just chilling. Anywho, those are some of the things. So I am 62% introverted, which means I'm more introverted than extroverted. And then in the mind, I am more intuitive. I'm 51% more intuitive than observant. I cannot like easily like see like okay. My mom is observant. Like she will see a person, she will entertain a person and like say hi to a person that you met like along the road, and then she'll describe everything that he had a red shirt on and he was, and I'm like, nah, I'm not. I'm more leaning to like the way I sense the gut, you know. I'm more intuitive, and then nature wise, I'm more thinking than a feeler. I'm not a feelings person. I am more about logic. 1 + 1 = 2. Feelings can tell you that 1 + 1 is 1, 1 + 1 is 10. Feelings can tell you that, but logic, no. And for me, like that, as I will explain later, like in love, when it comes to romantic relationships, like one thing that people like me, architects, have gotten to learn is that you can't explain or describe feelings of love using a spreadsheet. Whereas that is like our natural tendency. Like we need to show you this is how things work. We need to do diagrams and like, you know, present to you a mathematical, scientific explanation for things. And that's just totally, I am more of a thinking person. Even when, like when we're talking about like those personality of choleric, sanguine, whatever, I'm a choleric, and those people are more like, you will get the job done, but the people whose toes you step on. Because I'm like, I'm a thinker, I have a job that I need to get done. Like, so logic is what's working. Okay? So then, in terms of tactics, I'm more of a judging person than a prospecting. Like, oh, we will see, I'm more on the ground. Like, let's bring things down to the ground. Let's talk facts. Not like in the air, like our artists normally like up there in the air. I'm more of I'm 53% judging than prospecting. Then in terms of identity, I'm more assertive than turbulent. I'm more like, this is what I want. I'm more decisive. Like, this is what I want. This is where I'm going. I'm more decisive, and that is because I'm a judger. Like, I research, I do my research, I get my facts, and so I'm able to be assertive when I make a decision. When I'm telling you something, I have like a good conviction because it's backed by facts. So those are some of the things. Like, it's very, very interesting, and if you want, I can share the link for you to be able to have a more in-depth perspective, or you can get yourself like your own test and we can talk about it. So I want to mostly talk about my strengths and weaknesses, and I want to start with the weaknesses because sometimes we're just so happy to talk about how good we are, and these are some of the things that I realized probably last year. I did this test last year, and I've been like looking over it over and over again, trying to, you know, learn and see. One of the things which is so funny, and I think so many people will agree with this, is that architects, or INTJs, so INTJs are normally arrogant. And this is how they explain it. They might be knowledgeable, but they're not infallible, meaning, and their self-assurance can blind them to useful input from other people. Sometimes I feel like, this person can't bring anything to me. Like, it is the truth. Like, I can be super harsh and single-minded and trying to prove others wrong. Like, one time I asked a friend of mine, and I asked, like, I usually ask people, as I told him, what do you think of me? Like, what do you think is one weakness I have, or two, or whatever amount of weaknesses I have, and could you like tell me how I can, you know, work on it? And he told me, Joanna, sometimes you like to say, to just prove people wrong. Like, sometimes you don't have to say it, they already know it, but you like to, like, and it comes off as harsh, whereas for you, like, you're just being, there is this thing that I need to show you how wrong you are. And oh God, that is so sad. I need to work on that. And this actually flows into the next one, which is sometimes I'm dismissive of emotions. For me, I rationalize everything. So like, emotions don't matter, it's logic, you know? Rationality is king for me. So that means that emotional context, it doesn't matter to me at all. And I can get impatient with people who have like big emotions. I'll be like, I can't relate. I think I'm learning to be more emotional. This one I've looked into a lot. And just learn to empathize. Empathize has been a big word for me, especially in the last year. And I've been learning to just empathize with people. And I had to go through a serious issue, like a big thing that happened to me, that I was like, oh, you need to learn to reach out, like to feel for people, to understand people. And I think I'm more emotional now than I've ever been, but normally I am a logical person. Like 1 + 1 = 2. Don't tell me your feelings, because feelings change. Feelings, you can't rely on feelings. And actually one of the things I talk about is in romantic feelings, you know, you can't describe feelings with a spreadsheet, and that is something that people like me cannot fathom. Like, feelings, overly critical. This is true, I'm overly critical. And what I've learned, again, this is one of the things that I've been working on, because when you're overly critical of yourself, that's how you treat others. So it started with me. I was like, no, Joe, you need to have more grace for yourself. Give yourself grace, of course, to like the right amount, because sometimes you can over be gracious to yourself even when you're being a detriment to your success and to your, you know, to your growth. So, but like, I tend to expect people to match up to a certain level of, you know, and if they can't reach that standard, that's it. I'm like, I can be very critical even in working together, and I think this is one of the reasons I hate teamwork. I'm usually the person who likes to do solo work. I hate working in groups. If I'm in a group, I have to be leading it, because then if these people are not meeting my standards, then I can do all the work myself. I can lead that, I can direct it where I want it to go without having to tell them, because I'm also aware, like, I'm being critical of you and I know you might not like it and I hate doing it, but I don't know any better way to tell you. So yeah, I can be super critical of myself and of others, therefore of others, and that's something I've been working on in particular, and which also kind of like leads into like a socially clueless thing. Like sometimes I can be very, very socially clueless. Like for me, I always desire to defy expectations. Like if people expect me to do this, for me I'll do the opposite, and that usually doesn't land very well with people. People are always saying, like, you're weird, you're doing weird things. Like sometimes I'm socially clueless. Like I will not go the direction everyone wants to go normally. And sometimes that's a bad thing. It's a bad thing and a good thing, because you have to judge and be like, okay, this is the right time, this is the wrong time to defy expectations of other people. So sometimes I can be cynical about the value of relationships altogether, questioning the importance of love and connection. Yeah, sometimes I'd be like, because I enjoy, people like us enjoy their own company, and also like if they're always wanting to defy your expectations, like, oh, you expect me to be like this, okay, I'm going to show you I'm going to be like this. So if people are like, or if people like me are always in that situation, be like, what's the purpose of relationship? Never, they expect something different, and I'm always going to offer something different. So that's one of the things that I know that I need to work on. And then, which is also the same thing as being combative. For me, I hate always following blindly. Oh, we are all doing this. No, I'm not doing. I am going to ask you why. One of the words that I learned as early as probably I was so young, it was the word insist. I didn't even know what it meant, but I knew it was something I was doing, because my mom always said, stop insisting. Why are you insisting? No insisting, and no insisting, and no insisting. She's Amtoro. She would say, why are you insisting? Like, stop insisting. Because for me, if you say we can't do something, I need a why. If you tell me that we can't do it my way, explain to me why your way is the best way. For me, it was always, even up to now, I do not know whether that is a bad thing though. But they're telling me it's a weakness. And let me read what they're saying. People with this personality type hate blindly following anything without understanding why, which I don't think is a bad thing, except if you're not in leadership and just need to follow. This includes restrictions and the authority figures who impose them. So it's a difficult thing when when it's from authorities. That's when it becomes a bad thing. So they can get caught up in arguing about useless rules and regulation. Oh my God, in my former workplace, I used to do this a lot. I would just continue arguing about those are useless rules, useless meetings, useless this. Oh my God. But sometimes these battles are distractions from more important matters. Like, okay, so what they're trying to say, yes, that might be okay, but focus on more important things than just the argument about whether this is right or wrong. And maybe they're onto something. I think that's a good thing to do. Like, it's not necessary for you to always like fight that battle. You just have to let it go. But I think it's very important to ask why, though it might rub people wrong. Well, it's a weakness for a specific reason. I'm just going to go through really quickly the strengths. We are rational people. People, like, we pride ourselves in the power of the mind. I love knowledge, you guys. I love knowledge, and because I seek knowledge, I research, I back everything by facts, I can be super rational. Like, I can give you a good plan. This is a good strength to have, actually. That means they can devise inventive solutions to the most arduous of problems. The next one, which again ties into the knowledge thing, the rational, is they are always informed. Like, they are devoted to developing rational, correct, and evidence-based opinions. I will always back my knowledge or whatever, my opinion, with facts, evidence. You know, it's a love of knowledge, and that's really me. I like, you guys, I've said so many times how I love knowledge. I love knowledge. When I'm interested in something, I want to find out. If something keeps me up at night, I'm getting up, I'm Googling it. That's how I found out that Publicity Natete's Instagram. I didn't even know that guy had an Instagram, but I just was there and I couldn't sleep, and the only question on my mind was, what happened to Publicity Natete? Ugandans, no. Anyway, they're very independent people as well. They don't like being, so let me read this very clearly. For people with this personality type, conformity is more or less synonymous with mediocrity, and they hate bringing mediocrity to anything. So that is something that they do. They're creative and self-motivated, and they want to do things their own way. So they're very independent, they're very determined, and they're very curious. They want to know, like, what is there? What is there? Very skeptical in nature. Like, what is there anything more to this? Like, even like I told you, like in romantic relationships, there is always that thing like, hey, what do you want? Anyways, they're very original. This is something that I also like. In their everyday lives, they force the people around them to consider new ways of looking at life. Like, I can't tell you how many times I tell people, like, you need to do something, you need to change, you need to, okay, maybe I shouldn't be telling people that, but for me, I want people to love life, to live life, to not just exist. I'm more like about what is there. There is something else. There's something else like that is there behind, you know? And with that, I love the original, like there is that rebelliousness that comes with originality. And that is what, they say that is what is responsible for history's biggest inventions and revolutions. It comes from people being rebellious and refusing to give in. This whole thing of me being combative and not like just accepting things. There has to be a why, that thing. This is the good side to it. It brings about originality. Like, I won't just go anywhere. There is going to be a why. I have to be skeptical. I have to be, there has to be a level of curiosity inside there. And so I found that all the strengths are very connected, and there's so many. And like, that's a little bit of me. But now moving on to the why. So we know, like, we've seen the first 3 episodes of the BakDrop and how it came about. I think I didn't share. I might have shared in a video on my socials, but I had an assignment to do that for my school that required me working, like recording and producing a podcast and then posting it. I wasn't going to just send an audio or a video to the lecturer. I had to post it, and I had to come to my page, see how I've set up everything, and then look at it. And so this is how this actually got started. Besides that, I've always had this desire to have a creative outlet, to have a place to share things that I'm learning, things that I've been going through, things that I've, like, because I feel like I have very, very crazy experiences that people can learn from, but people can identify with, but also that can stir people. Like I said earlier, my life vision is to inspire and nurture learning, growth, generosity, and fun. So there's always been that desire in me to nurture something, to inspire things in people, to just, and then a few friends kept on telling me, like, do you know that people listen to you? Do you understand, like, people love to hear what you think about things, people, like, and I never really thought about it like that. I was like, everybody is interesting to listen to. If you are interested to hear about, their storyline, everybody's interesting to listen to. But anyway, and then if you go back, like, I was afraid to start this because I knew I had to be at a certain point where, like, I make a choice, number one, to share everything honestly and vulnerably, and be at that point. And like I said earlier, I'm at that point halfway now. Like, I'm much more convinced of that. But at the same time, I needed to know who I am, and I spent a lot of time, like, asking myself and God, like, what do I want? Because this podcast, this YouTube channel is not only going to be Convos with Puffs. There's a lot that is there about me and what I want to share. And so it brought me to this place of, like, what am I doing? Who are you? And I feel like a lot of things have happened in the recent past that have led me to a place where I'm like, okay, I now know who I am. I've had to change certain people in my life, certain locations, certain familiar things that I've known all my life, and that's like, and then I've had to sit down with myself and know, who are you without all of those things? Who are you without those people, without that environment, without that community? Who are you? And it has been like a difficult conversation that I've had to have with myself, and I bring my own simple self to this website, and I hope you enjoy just walking this journey with me. I am excited to walk with you and share with you all things Jojo. Like, that means life, how I do life, how how I'm changing my mind, how things are changing in my mind, in how I view the world, in how I view everything that I do, how life issues like friendships, relationships, singleness that I'm doing, life, money, finances, all those things. We're going to discuss them, and then obviously there will be that segment of Convos with Paps that we've already started, and obviously there will be things that are fun for me. Like I've already talked about my bucket list. We'll definitely be discussing that. So thank you so much for even tuning in today. I just wanted to reintroduce myself, and for those who have been here before, but also to introduce myself to those who haven't been here before. And I will be, Convos with Paps will definitely be going on. Many of you enjoyed him, so I'll bring that back. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go back to the previous episodes and you'll know what we're talking about. How often will we be here? I'm hoping it will be once a week. You guys, YouTubing is not an easy thing as well. I have a friend who has kept on, like, I have episodes that I've shot with my dad and some episodes that I shot alone, but I wasn't at a place yet where I was ready to do this. So now I'm coming back afresh. But and someone was like, you thought like YouTubing was easy. It's not easy. Content creation is not easy. I was like, I know it's not easy, but I'm going to do this because I feel like God has called me to do this. And so I welcome you onto this journey. Everything is going to be so raw. I shoot from my home, and it's just right. It's like kids in the neighborhood. You'll hear my windows banging in the background because of the wind. Yeah, like it's just gonna be raw. So welcome to my experience. And as we go on, we'll figure it as we go. So we'll grow together because I know we will grow together. Thank you so much for joining me. Love from the BakDrop by Jojo. Peace out.